this is a favorite of mine. Alright, so this soap is going to be mostly about the wonderful essential oils and some menthol crystals. It's made with the primary essential oil is peppermint, followed up by eucalyptus, tea tree, and about 1.5% of menthol crystals. You'll see them there floating on top. They smell wonderful, they truly do. It's a scent not to be ignored. So perfect for mornings when you're just waking up and jumping into the shower. Boy, this one will make sure you're truly awake, leaving the skin feeling just a nice cooled, refreshing, brisk kind of a scent and feel that I just adore. Now, if you have a cold bathroom, you may not want to use this because it has a rather cooling effect on the skin, at least at first. Oh, that smells tremendous. So I'm just dissolving these menthol crystals in the essential oils here, and then we're going to get on putting this wonderful soap together. Hope you'll join me. Come on along. All right, so I have my oils and butters here all ready to go, and my bucket is almost overflowing as usual. I need an in-between bucket. What these are milk buckets for my animals. These are newer ones, of course. These haven't been used for milking purposes. But that being said, these are in standard sizes. But there is an in-between size. I think this one is a 2-gallon, 1.5 gallon, and then I'm not real sure. I'll have to look at the bottom of it, but I need the next size up. I have a great big one, but it's for making larger batches, like the tallow soap that I just made. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and mix up my goat milk with my oils and butters here, and then we're going to add our lovely essential oil blend and get it in the mold. I am going to be separating part of it, which is going to be colored with wonderful sea algae, but thinking here I'm going to separate some of this out as I usually do. I don't know, I'll give it a try and see if I can pour some in here. Okay, yeah, you got a little thick on me there. I am soaping at a higher temperature, so that's to be expected. All right. So I'm going to give this a blend. I know it looks rough right now, but I think once we get it in the mold, it's going to be great. The menthol and the peppermint and the tea tree and the eucalyptus are just so refreshing. It is just wonderful. Okay, here we go. First cut. Okay, what do I hold on to? I guess here. Okay. Does seem to have pretty grippy feet on it. That's good. There we go. All right. There's the first loaf. All right. Okay, that one's got a lot of yellow in it. All right, let's go with number 2. This is too soft. Don't be impatient like I was. I'm getting back into soaping again. You know, I hadn't done it in like a month and a half, and I've been so anxious. So if you get anxious, sometimes you get impatient, like me. And when that happens, sometimes you make mistakes like this. But, oh, how pretty. I'm quite pleased with the color. Yeah, I think it's going to be nice. Of course, we'll know for sure when we cut the bars. I'm going to cut off the very ends because, well, they're a little rough. Because it's the way I pulled it out of the mold a little soon. And I just moved the camera too, didn't I? Sorry about that. But there's another nice feature. I really like being able to just shave off the very end of it. And that worked really well. All right, so these I'm going to cut it about 1.25 inches. There we go. And here's our first bar. So, it's got a few swirls through it. It's not too swirly. It thickened up on me, you know, a bit there. So, I'm not terribly surprised. I thought it would have some really stiff swirls if it had any at all. And that seems to be the case. I hope you all are having a really good day and that the holiday ahead is one that you're looking forward to. I know for a lot of people, this can be kind of a melancholy time of year. You know, the holidays. It has been for me in the past. But I'm doing much better now and am feeling much more. Well, I don't know if it's the Christmas spirit or if it's just the spirit of people. I know that sounds strange, but I mean, I'm just very happy right now that I am around people that I like at work. And I do like the people that I work with very much. There's really no one that I work with that I'm not happy with. Now, I've mentioned in the past that somebody made some comments about my YouTube videos and had kind of insinuated that maybe I wasn't doing my full potential at work because I was spending so much time doing this. And that was disproven rather quickly by people looking at when my videos were made, looking at when they were actually posted, and realizing that I only did do this on my days off. But the damage was done. Accusations had been made. My reputation had been marred. And it's kind of left me feeling a little, not a little, but quite a bit betrayed by one or two individuals. But I don't let it show at work because I believe that in life
I'm not one that, I don't truly believe in things like karma, but I do believe that people that do negative things end up with some negative results in their own lives sometimes. And I don't wish that upon anyone, even those people who have maybe wronged me. I don't want bad things to happen to them. What's the point of that? It's not going to make my life better for someone else to suffer, right? I mean, we want to believe that people are paying a price for their sins, as it were, but it's not for me to handle that sort of thing. If they've broken a law, of course, well, that's up to the legal system to deal with. But if they've simply insulted me or questioned my honor or something, that's on them. I hope that by living a good example, that I show my character and that I don't have to prove my character based on someone else's views of me. And I hope that's true for all of us. And I know in this world of Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all the social media that's out there, that it can be very difficult sometimes to know who you are without someone else telling you who you are. Sorry, I just was lining that up a little better there. There are people who truly do get their self-worth from likes and shares and things like that. And I don't. Oh, sure. Hey, I'm not going to lie. Would I rather have someone say something nice to me in a comment on a video than to insult me? Well, of course, I'm a human being. I don't like to be insulted. But does it change my view of myself? Well, if someone says, Patrick, you sounded drunk. If I was drunk, which I've never soaked a drunk or done a drunk video, but, someone said that, I would just correct them. Oh, no, I wasn't drunk. I was probably just tired. And maybe it sounded like I was drunk. But if someone says you're old and you're ugly and you shouldn't do videos, I might agree in some ways with them, but on that same token, there is no good that comes out of that. There is no good that comes out of going up to someone, to a stranger, and telling them that they're homely or that they smell bad or any of those things. What's the benefit of that to you as a person? I worked with someone one time who had strong body odor. And people were very insulting to this person. And I understood where they were coming from. They simply wanted the person to shower or wear deodorant, right? That was what they were hoping for. But sometimes you don't know. Maybe someone has an allergy, or some other aversion to using a deodorant or something. So I'm never going to assume that just because someone has a body odor that they are dirty people. They may have a medical condition. There are 1,001 things. It's not for me to make that judgment call. Now, if other people were talking about someone that I cared about, I might tell that person, hey, I just think you need to know that Carol in accounting is talking behind your back about you smelling bad, and you may want to address that with her. I might do that because I'm sure that they would rather hear it from me, someone who cares about them, someone they respect, and yet not going at them and going, I think you smell bad, right? It's a tricky situation. Why am I talking about body odor? I have no idea. Maybe because I'm making this wonderful soap that's going to make people smell terrific. This is a deodorant, a deodorant bar, well, no, I wouldn't go that far. But it smells tremendous. And I don't know yet. I haven't used this bar yet, but I've used other bars using the same essential oils and menthol in it. And I found that the fragrance stayed lightly on my skin for many hours. I really liked that. But I think it's going to be a tremendous bar of soap. So most of these are going to look the same. They're not terribly bright, or they are bright, but they're not terribly swirled. I mean, but you know what? I was going to call these Arise or Awaken, but there's another name that's right on the tip of my tongue. Like Refresh, or I don't know. You'll know by the time I put this video up. Of course, will have come up with a name and put it on the video, but I may change that. That's one of the wonderful things too about being a creator. You can change the names of things. I've changed the names of things before. For instance, I make the Royal. One second here. I make the oil, which is the frankincense, myrrh, and pine resin soap, and oils and salves and things. But the salve at Christmas time, I rename it Santa salve. So sometimes you'll see Santa salve, and you'll also see the royal resin for sale, but they are exactly the same thing. I just call it something different during the holidays. Just something I do. There's no real reason, but well, I'm very happy with my Hercules loaf cutter and soap cutter. I think it is a star performer, at least certainly as a loaf cutter. As a bar cutter, it does a serviceable job. I don't think that it's anything particularly exciting. I mean, it cuts the bar soap. It does give you a little bit more. Now look what I'm doing. I'm using the wrong thing. I like that it gives you a little more control of each bar. Sometimes the one bar cutters, they have an arm that comes down. Most of them do actually have a bar that comes down that's on a hinged screw. And that screw can become loose. Mine have done that before. Other things can happen. You can press on it a little too hard or a little too soft, and your slices may be inconsistent. But with this, because you're cutting against, here, let me pull this back out again, because it's going down against this wall, it's always going to be exactly the same. And that I really like. It does allow for very consistent cuts. The one thing I would add, just me of course, but maybe they could embed in here something you could lift up, maybe slide and adjust to lock in place, so you wouldn't have to, because as it is now, you have to move the bar out to the mark on the ruler where you want to cut, and then cut, right? And rather than having to line that up every time to that exact space and cut, it would be nice if maybe there were holes here and then some pins or something where you could put a pin in maybe, and that would act as a stop where you wanted it. So if you wanted it to stop at 1.5 inches, for instance, you would put a pin there in that 1.5 inch space, and then as you push the loaf through, it's going to stop there. You cut, you push the next one through. Just a thought. I don't know if the makers will ever see this video, but it's just a thought I had. All right. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the making of the soap. I am still debating on what to call it, but I really am happy with it. I think the colors are terrific, and it smells like a dream. It makes me want to dance. Ta-da-ta-da-ta-da-ta-da. Take care, everyone. I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.